Before we start the video, in the interest of not burying the lead, I've written a song today for Karen for her birthday. I know what you're probably thinking. First of all, you're thinking, this is a joke, right? Well, and once you get past the fact that no, it's not a joke, it's actually real, then you're thinking, there's about 1,000 ways this thing could go sideways. Yes, there is. So stay tuned. Thank you for allowing me this self-indulgent moment. I wrote a song for Karen, and even though her birthday was 2 weeks ago, I am presenting it to her today, and you all get to be here for it. The theme of this T212 is the power of a dream. Regarding that idea, here's something you really need to know. You need people around you to accomplish your dream. Surround yourself with people who believe in you and believe in your dreams. For those of you who may remain single, make sure you have a group of people around you that will support you in your dreams, encourage you in your dreams, even challenge you at times as you pursue your dreams. For those of you that will marry one day, let me just say that there are not many decisions that will affect your pursuit of your dreams more than who you marry. Your future spouse can either be your greatest asset or perhaps your greatest hindrance. For me, Karen has always been my greatest asset. She's believed in me, she's loved me unconditionally, she's challenged me, she's cheered for me. She's even let me know when she thought I was doing something that was a dumb idea. But she has always supported my dreams. When you're looking for someone to spend forever with, don't just go for the one who makes your heart go pitter-patter. Though that's still the case for Karen, she still makes my heart go pitter-patter, but there will be those days where there's no pitter, not even a patter. What about those days? On those days, you need to be committed to each other in the life you're building together. What should you look for? Louis L'Amour, the famous Western writer, always described the ideal woman as a woman to ride the river with. On an actual river, you need someone who will not just ride with you and enjoy the scenery, but someone who will ride out the rough water with you. Someone that will paddle with you when the going gets rough. Someone who will not panic and jump ship when the going gets tough. Someone that if the current gets so strong and you cannot paddle, that you can't control it, won't quit, won't turn on you, but instead you hold each other tight and the two of you either sink, ride, or swim. You do what's necessary for each of you to survive, but you do it together. That's what it means to find someone to ride the river with. But enough of this mushy stuff. I heard a phrase recently that I really liked about dreams. It was, run towards your dreams and not your inadequacies. What that means is focus on your dream, focus on your passion, don't focus on what you don't have or what you can't do. Find a way. A song? I've written a song. Do you know how improbable that is? I have no musical ability. I do not play any musical instruments. I cannot sing. I don't even have any rhythm. I often say that I have the music in me. I just have no good way to get it out. But this song has been in my heart, my soul, wherever it is that you want to call that innermost part of you. It's been in there, and it's been in there for quite a few years. I could actually hear it in my head. I had the music in me, but I had no good way to get it out. What do you do when you have something in us that we can't find the means to get it out? Keep looking for a way. You're going to hear a song today, a song that I wrote, as unlikely as this seems. If I'd allowed myself to continue to run toward my inadequacies, toward what I can't do, which is I cannot play an instrument, I can't sing, if I'd done that, then this song would have forever been in me, but never released. At some point it would have died with me. But I could not let it go. I could not simply say, I can't sing, I can't play an instrument, and leave it at that. I wanted to share it with my wife because it was a passion in me. It was not enough that I knew how I felt and what I heard in my head. And honestly, my hope is this will allow her to understand some of what I feel, but I've never been able to put into words. So what did I do when my dreams seemed unattainable to me because of my lack of ability? I never let it go until one day I had an idea. You know, I really thought if I knew Panic at the Disco, I would have called him, seen if he could help me. Maybe if he knew Colby Calais, maybe the two of them could do a duet and sing this together. But I don't know Panic at the Disco. Is that even his real name? I don't know. Mr. Disco, whoever. But I don't know him. But I thought there has to be someone somewhere that does this, that takes a raw song and turns it into something real. So I consulted the wisdom of the ages, the internet, and found that there was indeed companies that do this. So I put the words on paper. Then one day while I was in a hotel alone, if you want to know where I was actually in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. I used a microphone and attempted to put what I heard in my head on a recording. So I did it. I did it in one take, and it was terrible. I did have the timing of the phrases and the melody, which surprisingly the production company kept, but the vocal was terrible. To make matters worse, the song has a male and female part, and I was the only one who heard the song, so I had to sing both parts terribly. Once I had the recording, I researched companies, and I finally found one in New York, and I contacted them. I gave them the recording and explained that though it was terrible on the tape, I still thought we had the makings of an actual song. So when I met with them, I tried to use words to explain what I wanted it to sound like. They seemed pretty nonchalant about it and said, okay, we think we have everything we need and we'll get to work on it. So my dream was in motion. I found a way. If I had run toward my inadequacies, to what I couldn't do, toward the fact that I can't play an instrument, can't sing, and have no rhythm, then the dream would have died in me. Instead, I chased my dream and didn't give up on it and found a way. When pursuing your dreams, don't focus on what you can't do. Focus on your dreams and your passion and find a way to pursue it. When we chase our dreams, there's going to be times when we have no choice but to make ourselves vulnerable. Being vulnerable means being woundable. Or another way to put it is if you chase your dreams, there are going to be times when you risk having your feelings hurt. I actually waited 2 months after I put the song on tape before I even sent it to the company. I can tell myself that I was checking out all the options. The truth was, I was a little afraid. I was scared. I was not ready to give this piece of me to someone else. I was afraid that once the company got it, they would listen to it and say, what in the world are we supposed to do with this? Truth be told, I was not so sure that I wanted anyone to see this part of me, something that came from a private part of me that really meant something to me. You see, you can't really get hurt when you're working with things you don't care about, but you almost always risk getting hurt when you share things you care deeply about. Even though I was dealing with strangers, I was still worried about being wounded, having my feelings hurt. If you chase your dreams, there are times you risk looking foolish. You risk actually being foolish. You risk people not understanding you. You risk doing something that someone labels as not very good. When we chase our dreams, we almost always make ourselves vulnerable. But to not risk it means once again the dream in you dies with you. You can keep it between you and yourself, but that's just a daydream and does not accomplish anything the way a dream released to the world does. So you can make yourself vulnerable and be prepared to get over your hurt feelings or put yourself back together when your feelings do get hurt, which I know is not always an easy thing to do, but if you're not willing to do this, you can never chase your dream and it ultimately will die in you. Being vulnerable did not end with this sending in this terrible recording. Now I had to wait. Was this a dumb idea? Did I just waste a lot of time and money? After all, I hired this company to do this for me, so I had to pay them. One day the company sent me an email and said they would be sending me the final recording the next day. So the next day, I was actually in Vietnam for this one. I got up early and opened the email. I downloaded the recording. You talk about being anxious. I know these guys are professionals, but my recording was so terrible that even in the hands of professionals, I was worried it might rise to the level of Smelly Cat from the TV show Friends. I was also worried I'd explained to them what I felt, I'd explained to them what I heard, but what if they didn't get it? What if they went a completely different direction from the way I felt and the way I intended? So I put on my headphones completely in the dark while Karen was still sleeping in the hotel room. I listened, and they actually understood the essence of what I wanted to do, which was a relief. It was no longer terrible, but was it any good? I don't know, but you're going to hear it for the first time along with Karen. And I really do hope all of you will like this song, but in this self-indulgent moment, I'm really only playing to an audience of one. So Karen, this song is for you. In the words of the famous British poet Sir Elton John, you can tell everybody that this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is when you're in the world. I love you.
Do you remember long ago?
Ooh, I guess why so? I'm thinking of a time.
You mean before you were mine? Yeah, there's some things I'd like to know.
I'm ready, so go.
If you could go back to when, would you do it all again?
If you could go back in time, hey, would you still be mine?
Would you do it all? Do it all again. I'd do it all again. Oh, your heart I try to win. I'd do it all again. Lovers, pals, and friends. I'd do it all again. I'd find you and then I'd do it all again. You know the money that I make,
you're still the one I take. You know our love can have some pain,
but I love it just the same.
If you could go back to when,
oh, your heart I try to win. If you could go back in time,
I'd try to make you mine.
I'd do it all again. I'd do it all again. Oh, your heart I try to win. I'd do it all again. Lovers, pals, and friends. I'd do it all again. I'd find you and then I'd do it all again. We were fools, God made us wise. He opened up our eyes. He wouldn't let us walk away. Somehow he made us stay. I'm so thankful for today, when I can simply say I'd do it all again. I'd do it all again. I'd do it all again. Oh, your heart I try to win. I'd do it all again. Lovers, pals, and friends. I'd do it all again. I'd find you and then I'd do it all again. Yeah, I'd do it all again.